The saddest-looking cat at the shelter was Ben. His appearance caused everyone to turn away, and for very sad reasons, no one wanted to adopt him. Thus, the shelter determined that it would be better to put the cat to sleep. Luckily, Ben was adopted at the last minute by a couple. An hour after they hauled him in, you won't believe what transpired. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. Some cats have lovely homes, delicious meals, and lots of affection from their pets. But for Ben, it was the other way around. This tomcat was among the unfortunate few that wandered the streets in search of food and in the hope that someone would come to their aid. Despite living in the outdoors, Ben's life was relatively simple since his mother loved him and looked after him. Their love for one another kept them going even if they didn't always have the nicest meals, and once it even snowed on them. Ben occasionally made quick outings to the town with his mother. They became well-liked by certain residents, who fed them whenever they came to town. Ben and his mother had survived too long in the wild, so no other place seemed like home, even when other people attempted to adopt the cats. They would thus go away the very following day after being taken in by someone. Unfortunately, a tragic occurrence ended this lovely attachment between Ben and his mother. Ben's mother went hunting by herself that day. Unfortunately, a careless vehicle struck her and left the site of the collision when she was returning to the wild. Immediately, the poor kitty died. When the locals found her body a few hours later, they took the necessary action. Hours passed while Ben waited for his mother, but she never arrived. The hours quickly stretched into days, but his mother was nowhere to be seen. She was nowhere to be found when Ben went to the town to seek for her. He soon realized that his mother, whom he adored, was not returning. How would this cat make it through the outside world if he had never been without his mother? The days that followed were difficult for Ben. He didn't even know where to locate food, and he had no one to keep him safe. Regretfully, things would only grow worse for him. Ben suffered severe injuries after being assaulted by a wild animal a week later. The cat was waiting for his demise on the floor in excruciating anguish. Ben's enthusiasm for life likewise waned with every second that went by. Fortunately, a team of animal shelter rescuers learned that several stray animals were surviving in the outdoors and decided to go on a rescue expedition. A few kilometers into their journey, the rescuers heard an animal meowing. By the sound of its cry, they knew the animal was in great suffering. They came to Ben after following the shouts. He appeared to have already given up when we spotted him. He resisted when we raised him. All he wanted to do was lie on the ground. We weren't asked to aid him. It was really depressing, one employee remarked. In addition to his wounds, Ben appeared to have a perpetually depressed expression, according to the staff. Since none of them had ever seen a cat with such an unsettling expression, they concluded that Ben's appearance was a result of his extreme agony. But they quickly discovered differently. When the crew hurried Ben to the veterinarian, they discovered that he had a cauliflower ear, many deep cuts, and a shattered spine. Additionally, the physician informed them that Ben would not be able to move about much. For whatever reason, Ben chose to fight for his life even though no one thought he would survive. The workers joined Ben's faith when they witnessed his unwavering will to survive. They provided him with adequate food and a comfortable sleeping space. Ben's wounds healed after a few weeks, but his mobility was not restored. The crew was likewise taken aback by Ben's expression, which remained dejected. The veterinarian determined the cause of Ben's peculiar appearance after doing a thorough medical examination of the cat's face. You see, Ben's face appeared depressed due to the large amount of extra skin on it. Ben's mental state deteriorated once more after a few weeks in the shelter. Due of his inability to walk, the cat grew weary of sitting still. Since he couldn't run and play like the other cats, he didn't see the point in living. No one ever appeared to desire Ben, despite the fact that he saw several people enter the shelter each day and leave with a cat or two. No one wanted to adopt Ben, which frightened the staff as well. But when a family entered the shelter one day, They were taken by surprise. This family chose to accept Ben because they were captivated by his appearance. They responded that it wouldn't be an issue when the staff informed them about Ben's medical condition. It would prove to be one, though. The family was unable to handle Ben's physical difficulties, so 3 days later, they sent him back to the shelter. Ben's mental state deteriorated when he was brought back to the shelter. When the crew fed the cat, he grew despondent and refused to eat most of it. Weeks went by, but Ben's health didn't get any better. He reduced weight, but his mobility was not restored. The shelter made the decision to put the cat down at this point. Though it was a difficult choice, they were unable to come up with a better strategy. Furthermore, Ben had already given up, so he didn't make things any easier. There was going to be a miracle, though. After learning about Ben's tragic tragedy, Lizzie, a veterinarian staff member, made the decision to assist. She discussed the tomcat with Sam, her boyfriend. The young man fell in love with the cat when she showed him Ben's photos. "I really want to see some sparkle and glow in those sad eyes," stated Sam. Now he and his fiancée had a mission: to bring Ben joy once more and to infuse his life with love, bravery, and hope. Lizzie and Sam went to the shelter the following day and signed all the required paperwork. Ben was then taken from his cage by the personnel. He had to go for his forever home. The couple promised them that they would never return Ben, even though the staff said they wouldn't be offended if they did. The pair gave Ben a thorough bath in the bathroom once they arrived home. They remained at the cat's side, sitting next to him. Sam and Lizzie alternated cradling him. They made every effort to give Ben a sense of belonging and affection. And you know what? It was like magic. An event that no one had witnessed in a long time occurred an hour later. Ben suddenly burst into a joyful purr. When Sam and I saw the sparkle in his eyes, we were unable to contain our emotions. This cat felt alive and content for the first time in a long time, Lizzie said. Ben started to wonder about his house. In addition to wanting to visit his new house, he wanted to know all there was to know about his new parents. Lizzie and Sam then gave him a tour. Ben's pupils were dilated and he meowed at a high tone as they strolled about the home. All of this demonstrated how ecstatic the cat was. Since that day, Ben has changed as a cat. All it took was 2 people who genuinely loved and wanted this cat to get him out of his shell, said Sam. In his home, Ben took on the role of a little supervisor. He constantly made sure to inquire about everyone's whereabouts. Do you recall that the veterinarian said Ben would never walk? That's the most lovely part. Well, the doctor was proven wrong by the tomcat. The first steps were taken a few months after Ben arrived into Lizzie and Sam's home. In a matter of weeks, he not only learned to walk, but also began to sprint and jump short distances. How lovely. He's doing really well. Lizzie told Love Meow in an interview that no one who knew him before can believe he's turned out so awesome. Lizzie and Sam created an Instagram page for Ben a few months later, but they had no idea that this action would make their pet a little star. A few weeks later, Ben's tale was shared by several animal influencers who had discovered his page. The animal's inspirational trip was adored by everybody. People who read it searched for and followed Ben on social media. How is Ben's dating life going? The feline is 8 years old now. He is far from being depressed, despite the fact that his expression is still gloomy. Ben is now content. His family shows him a lot of love and care. Ben has 639,000 followers on Instagram and has been verified. What a lovely accomplishment. I hope this cat and his human family experience more joy and love. Was the story enjoyable to you? After that, kindly leave it a positive review and tell your friends about it. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.